So here's how you will get the fastest and highest probability of approvals for ZFind, simply by exactly what you put into the search filter. So as you can see, we have property type, we have rent, we have bed, bath, numbers, work. So that means you run the numbers. Um, it could be AirDNA, it could be MassVisor, it could be wherever you prefer to run numbers. And then amenities work for you. And then for rent by owner, it's like a specialty, as well as sublet and regular. Now, I will show you what that looks like on Zillow, and I'll show you what that looks like on Hotpads. Now, keep in mind, Zillow and Hotpads are the same exact companies. Zillow owns Hotpads. However, Hotpads has a few more options that we prefer you go by because it can increase the probability of your approvals. So, first things first, we want to know what city we're operating in. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to rent. We're going to go to here, we're going to go to Houston. We're going to pick this random city and we're going to make sure it's selected for rent. We want to adjust our actual rent amount. So I'm going to go 1600 and let it have no max. I'm going to choose my bedrooms. I'm going to do 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. I'm going to do my home type as houses. I could do townhouses as well. That's fine. And then I want to make sure that the numbers work. So I would basically do whatever my coach is recommending I do when it comes to running numbers. If you do this yourself, anyways, you can also just ensure that you're running the right numbers based off of your own education if you're not working with a coach. And then you can do amenities. So, amenities, um, I'm going to do amenities as more. And I may want to have a pool, right? Or I may want to have in-unit laundry, something like that, right? And then I do apply, and then Zillow doesn't allow me to search for rent by owner, and it doesn't allow me to search whether it's approved for sublet or regular. So I can only use these options right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm simply going to find the properties that I like. I'm gonna take the link. I'm gonna go to ZFind and I'm gonna go to submissions. And then I'm gonna go into link submissions and I'm going to submit one link and I hit plus. And then I would submit another link. Maybe this property works for me. I would take the link and I would go to ZFind and I would submit that link. Now, what I recommend you do for this is to have a total, try to put together a total of at least 30 properties. This is a good target, right? 30 properties, because typically um, you'll have the highest chance to have approvals. Now, if you use Zillow, that's completely fine. I know the submission tool has Zillow as the URL example, but you can also do Hotpads. The reason why I like Hotpads again is because they have these additional extras. They have for rent by owner, they have sublet, and they have regular. So I'm going to go to Houston again. I'm going to do search. And then in the filters tab, I'm going to actually filter house, duplex, townhouse. I can also do furnished if I wanted to. I'm going to leave these alone, um, but I'm going to go to rental types and I'm going to do regular and sublet. Now, sublet means that the property owner allows subleasing, but it might not be for Airbnb. It could be for a different reason. So we want to actually check it so that it improves our chances of actually getting approved for Airbnb. So it's just an addition that you can make. Even if none of the properties that you select have the sublet filter, it's still okay because it still shows us properties that we could potentially move forward with if we do like a property. And then we'll do for rent by owner as additional options. So this will only show us properties that are for rent by owner. It won't show us properties that are for rent by a realtor because a real estate agent could be representing a property owner, but it just makes it harder because you have to convince the real estate agent, and then the real estate agent has to convince the property owner. And that can be a little difficult because the real estate agent may be against Airbnb and the property owner might not be against Airbnb. But the issue with that is the real estate agent may say no to Airbnb, whereas they never even asked the property owner if they even allow Airbnb or allow subleasing. So we want to find the fastest way to get to the decision maker as possible, and that's by selecting for rent by owner. Now, if you happen to not see any options, you can always submit non for rent by owner and just show all the properties that are available. So we're going to just go ahead and select this, and we're going to click done. So on Zillow, it shows us 471 properties for rent by owner. I'm going to go ahead and go with newest, and I'm going to start here. All I need to do is come to this link, go here, and paste into here. And I'm going to submit. And then I'm going to go to next. And if I like this property, if the numbers make sense, I would select it, right? I will just keep doing this, right, until I have selected all the properties that I want to move forward with, right? So we'll do another example. I like this property from the outside appeal. I could easily call it the greenhouse on Airbnb. So I'm gonna just select this, and I'm gonna go to ZFind. I'm gonna submit that property. And then I'm gonna find my next rental, right? And I go to ZFind, I submit it. And what this does is it gives us the highest probability of properties being approved because we are selecting properties based off the right criteria to allow for us to have the highest chance of success. So if I'm satisfied with everything, I'm essentially going to go to submit property links, and they're all going to submit. And then I'm going to be able to get an email. It looks like I got an email. It says, hey, thanks for submitting a property link for approval. We received your request, and we will begin reaching out to property owners to discuss the possibility of allowing Airbnb operations. Our team will work to secure an approval, but please keep in mind that we cannot guarantee a successful agreement. Now, just keep in mind, when I actually want to see the status of these approvals, I will simply go to submissions, and I will able to see the status of those approvals in here. Now, keep in mind, our team has received those links instantly, and we will work on those links to make sure that they're approved. And then you will see the status in your submission section of ZFind. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team at support@zfind.freshdesk.com. There's no dash in between ZFind, or you can simply go here and click Get Help, or you can utilize the chat widget and get help as well. Either way, we're here to serve you. We're here to make sure that you get what you're looking for, and I hope this helps. Thank you.